Greetings, folks. This is DC Investing. I've reached financial independence, and I'm talking about topics that help others to reach financial independence. And the thing I want to talk about today is the Roth account when you're really young. And when you're early, late teens, early 20s, you're really not making a whole lot of money in most cases. But if you can organize your life to the point where you are able to save, putting money into a Roth account during these age groups or age time frames is really the most powerful thing you could possibly ever do. And so, if you're single, your first $15,000 that you make, you get tax free. And if you're young and married, the first $30,000 you guys make together is tax free. So you've paid 0% on those funds. If you can then keep some of it left over and deposit it into a Roth account, then that money will grow and compound for your entire life tax-free. And it's extremely powerful. Now, it's hard when you're young to try to save that much. So if you're an individual, you can save $7,000 into a Roth account. If you earn $15,000, well, that's like saving half of what you make into a Roth. Or, if you're young and married, you are both of you together, earn $30,000. Each of you can put $7,000 into a Roth account, which would be difficult. But there are some folks that are, say, living with parents at home, but doing some work. Maybe they're going to school, and being able to deposit those funds in a Roth will set you up for the rest of your life, or really help out. And so the way that works is because year after year, as long as you invest those funds in, say, something like the S&P 500 that grows at something like 8% to 10% per year, you have so much time that over the course of 30 years or 40 years, the amounts that you have in those accounts are going to grow somewhat exponentially. And so over the course of the time, because the funds are in there for so long, they will really increase. And because they're in as a Roth account, you will never pay taxes on those funds that you deposited into that account. It'll put you so far ahead of everybody else out there. And I've been trying to teach my own children these concepts, and I created a Roth account for both of them. They're kind of in their early 20s, and they have different working styles. My daughter is much more of a saver than my son is. He likes to buy a lot of stuff, and she's very conservative. And so for the last 2 years, I've been able to get my daughter to max out her Roth account. So she has about $14,000 that she's put into there, but it's grown quite a bit over the past couple of years. I think my son has maybe $3,500 that he's put into this Roth account. So he struggles with that more. But for both of them, at least they have something in those accounts. And there's something that is called Coast Fire. And there's some fun calculators that are out there, Coast Fire calculators, and it kind of tells you for your early age, how much do you have to have in an account in order to never have to put anything more again, but be able to retire. I think there's an account called Wallet Burst that has a really fun Coast Fire account. And for the age that my daughter is, I think if she had the equivalent of about $25,000 in at her age, she would never have to add another dollar to that account, and she'd still be able to retire because she put money in a Roth account so early in her life, which is really great. She might need $32,000, I'm not sure. But you don't have to put the money in all in 1 year. You kind of get multiple years to try to do that. So the earlier in life that you can get money in these Roth accounts, the longer they have to grow and the more work they will do over the course of your life. So check out the Coast Fire calculators. And if you see just how powerful, the earlier in life you get funds into an investment account, how much it makes an impact later in your life. It's really cool to see. Another really hard part about this concept is, thinking long term. The thought of you're going to be 50 someday is really far out there and really difficult. When you're in your early 20s, that just seems really, really old. I'm in my 50s, and it sometimes feels like I'm old, but parts of me still feels like I'm young. But this is advice for the younger group. If you can force yourself to save into these Roth accounts early in your life, the growth for them will do such heavy lifting and make it a lot easier later on in life. So I recommend checking out the Coast Fire calculators. You can really take a look at, hey, if I had $35,000 in my account when I was 25, I might never have to work again or put money in a retirement account again, and I'll still have the money to retire. It's really a powerful thing. Excuse me, I know that's probably really loud, and I'll try to edit it out, but I might forget. I don't know. So in general, the younger you are, the sooner you can get money into a Roth account, the better. Now, you do have to have earned income in order to put money into a retirement account. So earned income means you had a job or self-employment income, basically something that you would have to file a W-2 for or 1099. Both of those work as earned income. And then each year you have about $7,000 total that you can put in. You don't have to put in that much, but that limits to how much you can put in per person. And it's just the more money you can get in those accounts earlier in life, the more work those accounts will do for you over the course of your whole life, and they will really help you out. So today was a lesson on Roth accounts. If you're young, I can't stress enough how helpful it can be to save as much as you can into the Roth accounts. Now, one thing is good to know about a Roth account is your money is not stuck in there if you have an emergency, because your contributions can be taken out of the account without penalty or tax, because they were already taxed anyways. So contributions can be taken out, just not the growth in those accounts. So if you had an emergency, or if you wanted to buy a house or something else, you could pull out the amount that you put in originally without penalty if you really need to. I don't recommend it. It's better to keep them in there, but your funds are not locked in there forever if you truly do need them. So that's something really important to know about a Roth, is your contributions can be pulled out anytime without penalty. The growth, however, can't. If you pull that out early, you get a 10% penalty on that. So, and you have to pay taxes on it. So anyhow, that's kind of a summary of Roth. When you're young, it's super powerful. Money goes in at a 0% tax rate, grows for your whole life at a 0% tax rate. You pull it out, you don't pay taxes on it. So super, super beneficial to you. So, like, subscribe. Let me know what you think about this. If you're young, are you doing this in your own life? Have you thought about it? Is this something you know about? And appreciate any comments. We'll see you. Bye.